Stephen Brooks from Rubber Onion Animation. Today I'm going to be doing sound effects, obviously. As you can imagine, this is enormous fun. Many people don't do their own sound effects, and I think that's a shame. If you want total control over your content, I think it's a must. If you have crap in your house, you could do sound effects. I've cleaned up my office and I've turned it into a Foley stage, which is really important because it's going to get really, really messy in here. As far as sound effects go, I break it down into three main parts. Number one, specifics. This is like your gunshots, doors closing. The second part is your moves track. Things like moving. This is where we start to get into the sound design to a particular character based on whatever material they're made out of. The final thing is your ambient track, which is also called room tone. It's like paint primer. It goes on the wall and then anything can go on top of it, right? So if I have a gunshot and I have doors closing and I have footsteps coming in, all those sound effects are great. But in between those, I have silent, dead space. And the ambient noise hides the seams between those sound effects. Now, I never really know how long this process is going to take, so I'm just going to get started now. I hope you find this motivating enough to try your own sound effects and maybe give you the opportunity to start looking at things from a different angle. Car crash. Okay, now let's really get to work. So as I'm preparing my day to record sound effects, there's a couple things I like to do. Number one, most importantly, I like to collect all the junk in my house. You don't have to collect all of it. The other thing I like to do is I like to go through my animatic and write down all the sound effects that are needed for each scene. As you can see, I just go through each scene and I write down shotgun, birds flying away, bunny running on grass. The other thing is to have a clean office, not just so I can do this, but also because having an open floor allows me to have a bigger work area. I'm going to be throwing things around, breaking some things, popping things. It's going to get messy. You can split up the sound effects you're going to record by character, by environment, room, by material you're going to use to record, though that's a little more difficult. Or the one that I like to do, split it up by track. I said before we have a couple different tracks. We have the ambient track, the movement, the specifics. And for right now, I'm just going to be recording the specifics and the movement. I have some people mowing lawns and things like that. So I'm going to start recording loud sound effects because they're so high up on the meter. I won't have to increase the volume at all, which means I won't have to increase the background noise. The first one up is the most difficult one, which is the shotgun. First one, most obvious, balloon, knife. The crack that people hear is basically a sonic boom of the bullet passing the sound barrier, and for that I have poppets. I have a staple gun, no actual staple. I have a big empty bin. So I'm going to take this, put it up against the side. There's something about a shotgun that just sounds dirty. This is going to help me get more of a crunching sound. So I have a pop, I have a boom, and now I want this crunch. When I put those together, I should get a pretty good shotgun sound. And then round it off with some good old-fashioned voice work. One down. Next one is the bird flying in front of the camera. So when it comes to something that's actually flying, instead of having a material like a cotton shirt, which sounds kind of weak, it's not going to support any weight, I want something a little bit more leathery. I want a thicker sound and a unique sound to that bird. The thing that I'm imagining as it flies in front of the camera is a kite sound. Now I want more of a burlap type thick sound, which would be my hat. Now the next thing I got is some squishy sounds in the trough. Is there anything more deliciously squishy than yogurt? See, work can be fun. And finally, some liquid. Done. Okay, next sound effect is the car driving. That's going to be a little more difficult. Now here's the fun thing, is splitting up the car driving into many different sections. The first one, and the easiest one to do, is driving on a loose gravel road. Drive red. More gravel sound. Okay, so that was driving on gravel. Now I need metal type sounds from maybe some solid lifters. It's probably an old truck. Now, the sound of the car idling. It gives me fan noise and just some basic white noise that I can play with on the computer. Here's another secret of animation sound effects-dom. The way a lot of cartoons got the sound of a sputtering engine back in the day was simply by taking a pencil and dragging it down a washboard. I don't have a washboard, but I do have this. And there's my car. Now I have to do rain. I just used it a bunch of times for the bush. It is the plastic bag. Now I just want to get the sound of some droplets. I need some wind. Guess what does that? Compressed air. Best friend. And there you have it. Freezing cold can. Now I want to have rain on hard things, so I'm going to do this. Remember this? Multitasker. Now I need some rain on the windows. Now I need chickens bucking and freaking out. Geese honking. That one's going to be a little hard. And then I'm going to supplement it also with my voice. So I have all my specifics done. Now I got to go back and do the movement track. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, so let's look at my room, huh? I got my water and bread and all sorts of stuff here, and then all that messiness. So it might not look like much of a mess to you, but I got some stuff over there, some stuff over here. I hope you enjoyed watching me make my sound effects, and hopefully this can be some motivation for you to try it on your own if you haven't done it already, or at least give you some ideas on how to tackle some of the harder things. Just think about the parts that make up the whole, and you can start making your own sound effects. But leave yourself some room to clean up your office. Otherwise, the next day you come in here, you will be fighting motivation. Tomorrow we're going to be writing music, and then I add that into my soundtrack, and then we start moving on to some art. Also, on a side note, I'm going to be having trivia questions on my website, and I'm going to be giving away prizes with them. All you have to do is put in your email address in the top right-hand corner of my website where it says subscribe. There's no spam involved. It's just me. This is going to allow me to do some pretty cool things with giveaways and showing special features and some more behind-the-scenes stuff that I'm not going to post other places. So I would advise you to go do that right now. So go to my website, ask some questions in the comments section, sign up for my email list, look out for the trivia questions to win some pretty cool prizes, and I will see you on the next video blog 7, on music. So that's it. I'm out. Bamboozled. We have laws against the sort of thing you did, Bunny. It ain't right. F*** you.